Donald Trump is crashing out in the White House right now over the massive escalation in his catastrophic and unlawful war in Iran. As we previously reported, the Trump regime threatened Iran that the U.S. Navy was heading into the Strait of Hormuz to escort ships. Iran responded by striking the United Arab Emirates port of Fujairah, also striking a UAE ship and a South Korean ship. Then Donald Trump responded and said, that just involves other countries, not a big deal. We're now learning about a massive amount of jets over central Iraq right now. 13 U.S. Air Force tankers are also airborne across Jordan, Saudi Arabia, and the Gulf. Qatar, the UAE, and Oman have issued full and partial airspace closures following the regional escalation. And we're learning that the U.S. and Israel are considering targeted strikes on Iranian missile launchers and a parallel attack on an Iranian energy facility in direct response to what happened earlier today. And at the same time, we're learning from U.S. intelligence that even with all of the recent fighting from Trump's catastrophic and unlawful war in Iran that's taken place to date, officials still estimate that Iran would need about 9 to 12 months to build a nuclear weapon if it chose to do so, that this catastrophic war has not slowed down Iran's ability to build a nuclear weapon at all. So Donald Trump just held a press conference moments ago, and then Donald Trump said that if we had the wrong president, we would be in World War III. We're in a mini war. This is just a mini war, everybody. A mini war. Well, didn't you also say that we were not in any war to Congress so that you didn't have to comply, or you broke the law, I should say, with respect to the War Powers Authorization? Here's how Donald Trump describes it. It's utterly deranged. Play this clip.
Country. Like, we have a war right now, and we're into 6 weeks? They said, what's taking so long? We were in Vietnam 19 years. We're in Iraq for many years, 10 years, 12 years. We're in all these different wars. Korea, 7 years. I won't even mention World War II. That's a big baby. But you had the wrong person up here, you'll be in World War III. As sure as you're sitting there, you have the wrong person up there. It's nasty and tricky. It's tricky out there. We have to have the right people, and they have to be sharp and they have to be smart. Because one thing about your business is small businesses are great, but if you don't have the platform, meaning the country, meaning the right principles, the right everything, our country's booming now, despite the fact that we're in I call it a mini war, because that's all they are. They don't have a Navy anymore. Think of it. They had 159 ships. How many do they have left, Kelly? Out of 159, take a guess. She's very smart. 0.
Now, speaking of utterly deranged, during this press conference, Donald Trump then kept on talking about passing cognitive exams. This is what he was doing in the White House with all of the escalatory situations that I'm talking about happening in the Strait of Hormuz, as the Middle East is quite literally blowing up. This is what Donald Trump is saying. He's quite literally a psychopath. Here, play this clip.
I said, so what do you think, Ronnie? They call me a genius who's going to destroy the country. Then they said, he's a genius who's taken over the entire world. Then they said, he's a total moron. This guy is so stupid. And then, so whenever I hear that one, I say, let's take the cognitive test. But I really think it would be a great thing.
Then Donald Trump, after talking about cognitive tests, says, folks, we're just on a little detour, everybody, a little detour. Play this clip.
But that happened. So we did a little detour, and it's working out very nicely. They have no Navy. They have no Air Force. They have no anti-aircraft equipment. They have no radar. They have no nothing. They have no leaders, actually. The leaders happen to be gone.
And then if you thought he was done talking about cognitive exams, you'd be wrong. Okay, he continues to talk about cognitive exams and squirrels and how he's able to identify squirrels. Let's play this clip.
Administration. You know, one of the things I said is that we should have, in my opinion, anybody running for president or vice president should take a cognitive test. And no president has ever taken one except me. I've taken 3 of them, and I've aced each one. 1 in the first administration, 2 over here. And whenever they get a little sassy, like, does he still have it? Does he still have what it takes? I say, all right, I'll take another one. And they are hard. There are many people in this room I know that are smart. They're not going to ace them. There are many people standing back there, the fake news media, that I'd like to have them. You know, the first question is very easy, and they always show the first question is, you have a lion, a bear, an alligator, and what's another good? A squirrel, okay? Which is the squirrel? So they show that question. And then the first 4 or 5 questions they get a little more difficult. By the time you get to the middle, they're tough. By the time you get to the end, I don't want to be insulting, but there won't be, I'm not going to do what Gavin Newsom said. You saw him? He said, everybody in here is stupid, and he's stupid. I think it was the worst political interview I've ever seen. He said, he's stupid, he's dumb, he gets bad marks on everything, he can't read his speech. And nobody wants to report that. It was the worst. But I won't say that because I think everyone in this room is brilliant, but nobody's going to get all 30 questions correct. Nobody. Because when you get to those last questions, they're pretty hard. You got to be pretty sharp. But every time, so I've taken.
Then Donald Trump says that everybody was wrong who said that oil was going to be expensive. He's like, oil isn't, the way he describes it, energy isn't $300. And he goes, because, look, there's a lot of energy out there. Energy's not $300, but I guess we can't do a lot with the energy on the ships because it's been kidnapped by a pretty evil place. Dude, what are you talking about? Play this clip.
Except everybody was wrong. They thought that energy would be at $300, right? $300 a barrel, and it's like at 100. And I think going down, and I see it going down very substantially when this is over, Chris. And I think very rapidly too, at levels that you've never seen, because there's a lot of energy out there of ships all over the world that are loaded up with it. They can't do much with it because they got kidnapped by a pretty evil place. But we're taking care of it. We have Administrator Kelly Loeffler, who's incredible.
Now, it should be noted that the spot price of oil is around $300 per barrel. The futures of oil is at that $120, $130 per barrel range, and it fluctuates from 100 to 120. Sometimes it dips below when Trump manipulates the markets. But the spot price, $200 a barrel, $250, $275. That's the price today. That's why your gas prices keep on going up, and they're only going to get higher, folks. Then Donald Trump says all of the negative numbers in polling about the catastrophic war in Iran are false. Let's play it.
When you get only bad press, it's fake press. They give me fake polls. They tell me about polls and this. It's interesting. I did a poll on the war with Iran, and they said only 32% of the people like it. Well, I don't like it, and I don't like war at all, but we're equipped better than it. We have the greatest military in the world. You saw what happened with Venezuela. You see what happens with everything. But they said 32% of the people are against President Trump. Well, when you explain it, like, is it okay for Iran to have a nuclear weapon? It wouldn't be 32%. But even if you said that, there'd be a 32% because the polls are fake. I mean, they're totally fake. And when you take a look at what's really going on, the other day I made a speech in a great Florida senior citizens community, and I made another one at the Kravis Center, 2 in one day. It was wonderful. I go out and make.
Then Donald Trump says the reason that he had to purchase Chinese furniture and Chinese products for Trump hotels is that he was forced to do it, he says, because of pricing. That forced him to do it. Oh, okay, Donald, play this clip.
Particular thing. But with the furniture, we're going to bring all the furniture back to North Carolina, and you're going to see it'll be as robust as it was 25, 30 years ago. The greatest furniture people in the world. And they got stolen. They really didn't take them. They found people in China that could do it, and all those people got put out of jobs, and their kids have that same ability. And you watch what happens, how good it is in North Carolina, because I've had to go through a process to get that approved, but now it's proved, and you're going to be, again, the furniture capital of the world, because nobody can do that quality. And I know the quality. I buy a lot of things from China, and because I was forced to. You know, when I was in the hotel business, I was forced to buy from China because of pricing and because of for other reasons. What I wasn't getting was the kind of quality that we were getting here. And now you'll have a combination of both. So you can let that be known. I don't know if that's breaking news or not for these people, but...
Then Donald Trump says, with one swipe of the pen, I can do no employment. Okay, here, play this clip.
So we had to cut the jobs because we were way bloated with federal jobs. And, I could, with one swipe of the pen, I could say, let's have no employment, and I'll hire 1 million people or 2 million people. I say, we just hired 1 million people and we have absolutely no employment. And that's what they would do. They'd have bad numbers coming up, so they'd hire a couple of 100,000 people and the numbers would look okay. With me, it's the exact opposite. We terminate a lot of federal jobs that are unnecessary.
Then Donald Trump says, nobody can believe that I brought in $18 trillion. Yeah, nobody can believe it because you're lying. Here, play this clip.
Nobody can believe it. And nobody can believe the $18 trillion number that we gave you, because it's a record for any country, not just here. It's for any country. A lot of that had to do with November 5th, but a lot of it had to do with tariffs.
Then Donald Trump says, when the king and queen arrived, they looked at everything here and they said, wow, what an incredible Oval Office you have there, Donald. That's something. He goes, yeah, that is something. Here, play this clip.
I didn't quite like it. People come from all over the world. King and queen were just here and they looked and they said, this place is just amazing. When they came into the Oval Office, they said, this is something. And they've seen some very nice places. They've seen some great rooms, but it is a very special place as we...
Meanwhile, you have Iran's foreign ministry spokesperson when asked, so the U.S. is a superpower. How can Iran fight with the U.S. if the U.S. is a superpower? To which Iran's foreign minister spokesperson goes, Iran is now a superpower. Here, play this clip.
Oh, America is a superpower. What specific tools and professional support do you have to effectively manage and deal with it? Why is it that you don't choose to back down or retreat?
We are also a superpower.
In addition, we have Iran saying the following: the element of surprise is no longer a secret. It's become a reality knocking at our doors. Expect an earthquake that will wipe out years of arrogance in a matter of hours. One of the IRGC top officials said, tonight, perhaps a new chapter of power will unfold, one the adversaries have never witnessed before. When we look at the map of the Strait of Hormuz right now, we see no one is even attempting to test this passage right now. Trump's Project Freedom, as he's calling it, which just appears to be another Gulf of Tonkin event, is just is already falling apart, and it's only caused this escalation by creating this escalatory ambiguity. And now we have Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent claiming that the U.S. controls the Strait of Hormuz, not Iran. We heard what Bessent said. Let's play it.
So we are saying the Iranians do not have control of the Strait. We have absolute control of the Strait. We have blockaded the ships going into or out of Iranian ports. Their economy is in free fall, and everyone says they have the high tolerance for pain. Well, their soldiers will not have a high tolerance for not getting paid.
All right, folks, we'll keep you posted every step of the way. As always, hit subscribe. Let's get to 7 million subscribers. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Want to stay plugged in? Become a subscriber to our Substack at MeidasPlus.com. You'll get daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, ad-free episodes of our podcast, and more exclusive content only available at MeidasPlus.com.